What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Outside Interference with me, the RRBG, and it is my honor and privilege to be joined today by the evil genius himself, Mr. Eddie Furth. How are you, brother?
How's it going, man? How are you doing?
Feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Are you excited for the biggest party of the summer? The hottest party of the summer?
It is. I have my ultras ready. Light calorie beverage of adult nature.
Yeah.
To enjoy my family friendly fun from my pals over at WWE.
Yeah.
How you feeling,
This is gonna be
brother?
a fun one. So Summer Slam is actually like my favorite event every year. Of course the Rumble, of course WrestleMania. I should say like it means the most to me because the very first thing I ever saw was SummerSlam '89. So like every SummerSlam, it feels like the anniversary of when I got into wrestling. So SummerSlam feels more important, like to me personally, not the event itself, but like that's when I really make sure I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch. Like this is where it all started for me. SummerSlam '89, Hogan and Beefcake versus Zeus and Macho Man.
Wow, that's
like
amazing.
a main event for the ages, buddy.
Wow. Shit, I'm trying to think what that is for me. You know, it's got to be Mania, I guess, because that's like the first thing I saw. It was like, but
like 15, because you're an Austin Rock guy, right?
Well, I mean, even when I was younger, when it was I remember I had a VHS. This is how old I am, kids.
Same.
VHS, and then I would put tape on the hole on the side and record over shit, and I would just be, I guess I'm deleting Woodstock '92. and or whatever it is, 90, and I'm and I had like WrestleMania 8 on tape like that with like my shitty little kid handwriting that said WrestleMania with the Roman numerals. But yeah, that's the thing. But I think the most exciting one for me is the Rumble. Obviously for everyone.
Yeah.
But SummerSlam is like WrestleMania in the summer. That's basically what it is. So I'm excited. We'll see. We're only getting one night, although they were doing a lot of advertising for the 2 nights, and it was confusing me. And then I'm like, wait, that's 2025. Why are we talking about that right now?
So they mean SmackDown? They mean tonight and then tomorrow?
No. I was just that next year they're doing a 2-day SummerSlam, but they're they put so much advertising out when they made the announcement. Yeah. I saw that clip over and over to the point where my brain just melted. Like, so wait, is SummerSlam 2 nights? What's happening?
Yeah.
But anyway, we have one night of SummerSlam. There is a couple of other things I want to address with you that we haven't on the show. That's not SummerSlam. So we'll leave the card for a little bit later. But I want to address the undeniable presence of the man whose name, if said, would cause him to manifest upon us, Mr. Joe Hendry.
Dude, I've heard so much about him. I still haven't gone out and watched anything. You tell me Joe Hendry's story. Tell me who this guy is, how this came about, and what the over part of he's clearly over. Everybody's talking about it. He's memeing everywhere. What's the story? Who is Joe Hendry and how did he get onto the radar?
So, what I'm about to say is stuff that I've discovered via interviews that he's done and whatnot, because my story with him is I heard the thing, it popped up on my algorithm at some point, the song, and then I was just like, what the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. And then, everybody was going crazy. I'm like, great, another meme like wrestler. It's going to be in and out. No one's going to care. But then it just kept appearing, and it kept appearing, and it kept appearing, and my friends were sending it to me, and then family members that I don't even watch wrestling are sending it to me. I'm like, who is this guy? And then I look up the videos, and I did like a little bit of research. Apparently he was Rusev's lawyer for a bit.
In WWE?
In WWE. He was Rusev's lawyer when they did a whole segment in the ring with Rusev and, is it Lana?
Yeah.
That was her. I want to call her CJ, but but yeah, he was their attorney, and like he's been, apparently it's one of those things. It feels like someone is implanting memories into my brain because now I'm like, they're showing like, oh, well, here's fucking Joe Hendry versus Kurt Angle. I'm like, wait, excuse me? Excuse me? Who is this guy? What's going on?
Wow.
So I kind of dug in. He's been around forever. He's just been under the radar. He started a gimmick where he does music. He would write a song for every opponent, making fun of them, kind of like Elias. But he would make a music video where he'd cut out the face of the opponent, put it on his face, and just make fun of. And they're all funny. And then finally he wrote that Joe Hendry Believe song. It was just a song for himself. And he timed it. Like he has an interview with Chris Van Vliet where he describes it, where he just timed it perfectly with days of the week where music releases happen. And like, you know, they drop it. If you drop it now, you'll have the most engagement because everybody already saw the new releases. It's like a day before or after. I don't know.
Yeah.
He calculated it. It was very, very well calculated. He figured it out. He figured out how to put it everywhere, and it hits something funny because it's that little turn. You know, you can put that anywhere. Yeah. It's become the new. Remember that when John Cena's thing became a meme for a while?
Yeah.
Where like there's like a clip of a movie and then it just blows into John Cena's entrance music really loud, like the speakers are cracking and everything. That's the new Joe Hendry because I'm getting memes from people like, you know what Sunday feels like? And then it's the Joe Hendry song. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's just everywhere.
When I first started seeing him, I didn't even know it was wrestling related because I started seeing him attached to like Instagram reels as like, I thought of him more as the monkey from Planet of the Apes going, oh no. I just thought it was another, right. I thought between that, I thought the Planet of the Apes, in between Planet of the Apes and Haktua, Joe Hendry happened as a meme, but it's from wrestling. I didn't, at first, my first thought was just like, oh, okay, cool. I'll have to figure out what this guy is. But he's TNA WWE. He's on NXT.
He's on the WWE roster page.
Amazing.
It's wild how quickly, like, I mean, and it's so good that we're in an era where that can happen because, you know, it wouldn't have happened with old Vince at the helm. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have accepted this.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Why would I put him on my television? Damn.
We already have an Elias.
Where is that guy? Hey, give me the guitar. I'll go out there.
I mean, speaking of Elias, he's Elijah now. And apparently getting himself in some trouble in the Indies. I don't know. I haven't really been following too much.
Jeez. Poor guy. He was on a rise, man.
He had it for like just a few weeks. Where everyone was singing along and doing the thing and the gimmick. So yeah, that was a failed opportunity. But apparently, you know, he's, like I said, getting himself in some trouble. So I'm not gonna I don't know the story. I'm not going to comment on Mr. Elijah. But you're saying NXTNA. That's something I wrote down as one of the topics.
Nice.
How are you feeling about this merger? Because there's a lot of discussion on the internet about, you know, who's getting put over and, you know, how one company is burying the other or if it's, you know, they're helping each other. And I think we've talked about it a little bit, but it's becoming more and more of a thing. And not just TNA, but also like Bloodsport. Like we've got the Creeds and Shayna Baszler and Dempsey over at fucking Bloodsport with GCW's name all over it. So like that's another company they're now working with.
That's amazing. Look, wild. I think these opportunities come through because Triple H is doing things differently, and the reason you would do a partnership like this is whoever's going to TNA or Bloodsport from WWE is getting the time and experience. You're not talking like you're sending Roman Reigns is not showing up in TNA, right? But it adds this element where the Creed brothers can go to Bloodsport and get this exposure. And you can have Joe Hendry on NXT and it brings the viewership that he brought in, but he gets the rub of being on NXT television, and hopefully that it all starts to bolster. Like, it's cool. It's developmental without having to be developmental. But in the old territory system, you go around in different places. I think Triple H understands, like he did it with Evolve and all this stuff over in England. So he sees this value of having different avenues to expose, like when ECW and WWE partnered up back in the day and they came on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because how am I feeling? Look, I 100% believe this is leading to AJ going back to the Impact Zone. He's 100% going to show up. If you really asked me to book it out, like he shows up, he can lose in the Impact Zone and it doesn't hurt him. So he shows up to challenge Moose or Nick Nemeth for the title and loses in the Impact Zone like a traveling world champion would go to a territory and lose, and it wins for everybody. He gets one final match in TNA and puts over whoever they have, and it doesn't hurt him at all. Like, that's a great appearance. I can't wait for that to happen. It's going to be awesome.
I want Nick Nemeth versus AJ Styles, and I want AJ to win and have a run with the TNA title for a bit.
I believe that would happen if it happened at Mania.
What the fuck else is he? What else is he doing? What are they gonna do? They've already had him lose to the world champ. So like, what do we do?
Nick Nemeth shows up with the TNA championship at the Royal Rumble. AJ eliminates him, or vice versa. AJ shows up at the Impact Zone, challenges him, loses at the Impact Zone, and then says, "Cool, but you can't hang at WrestleMania with me." They have a TNA World Title match night 1 at WrestleMania. Boom, he pins him, wins the belt, and then goes back to the Impact Zone and drops it to whoever. That's how you, like, right there you go. Like, now everybody looks great. Everybody has this moment. So you capture something special. And they're doing that with Joe Hendry and all the other people who are coming back and forth. So it's is it Jordan Grace, their champion, who showed up at the Women's Rumble? It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, I love it. I'm excited. I hope more stuff like this happens. I'm probably just trauma speaking, but I'm like, when is it going to stop being good? It's going to stop being good soon. I have a feeling they're going to fuck this up. There's no way that they're just going to keep doing cool shit. But guess what? They're still doing cool shit. And I'm very excited about it. Dude, the Creeds at Bloodsport, you need to watch that. I know you haven't, but
where can I see it?
It's on Fight TV, I think, it's Fight TV or Triller. Well, I'll put the link on the description for people to order it. It's through GCW, so whatever GCW is using to show their shows. It might be Triller. I don't know, bro. There's too many. I'm old. But the Creed, Julius Creed has potential to be a solo champion in a couple years.
He's the one with the mullet.
Yeah, the smaller one of the two.
Yeah. He
Brutus
stands
is
out,
the bigger
man.
guy, but he's got, dude, and perfect for the Bloodsport style, with like the shoot style wrestling, a lot of chain wrestling on the ground. Like, it looked real, like painful, and I think that, man. If Bloodsport had a championship, I'd put it on that guy.
Yeah,
you know wow. I mean? They don't have one, but geez, what a debut, I would say. Josh Wolf had a match too that was great. Barnett's match with Bad Dude Tito was fantastic. Akira and Speedball was like karate movie. It felt like The Raid. It was awesome. Yeah. It's a lot of strikes. Good show. I would recommend to go out of your way.
I'll check it out after SummerSlam tomorrow. Yeah,
it'll be fun, and I feel like more of that's coming too. You know what I mean? That half the card was WWE stars, basically. You know what I mean? So I think there's potential for a lot more of that happening, and then crossover too, like having some of them show up in NXT. You know what I mean? Just keep it growing. Why not? Yeah. Speaking of the growing, my last note here before we get into SummerSlam was Call of Duty. Putting eyes on that, bro. We were talking about that.
Who I saw Cody. I know Ray was in there. Who's in Call of Duty?
So the way that they worked it out, they have, every season that they drop, it has a battle pass, and you play and unlock new stuff in this battle pass as you progress. And every season's new stuff. In the season this time, you can get Rhea Ripley. So
nice.
You if you get the battle pass, you play as her, and they have like a thing called Black Cell, which if you spend more money, you get like a special version of Rhea where she's wearing like gold and black. There's a lot, and then they have Rey Mysterio has his own bundle which you have to buy separately, but it brings a bunch of stuff. Like you get Mysterio, you get stickers, you get new gun skins, you get a thing that when you shoot people and they die, the Mysterio mask pops up on the screen. So it's pretty cool. It's very intricate. It even got Michael Cole in there. So the game also has like assassinations. So if you run up behind someone, you can assassinate him, and you do like a special move. And like Cody Rhodes is in the game, obviously. He's the star of this whole collaboration, but he does the crossroads. So you get behind someone, you do the crossroads, and then you hear Michael Cole like a crossroads in the background. It's crazy. But you know what? I'm going to call him out on one thing. They also, when you kill someone, it pops up some text that says, how you killed them. So if it's a headshot, it'll say headshot, or low blow, whatever. When you do the move, it says "By God." I'm like, that's JR. He's not in WWE, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Oh man.
But whatever. We'll let it ride. I like it. I'd spent 3 days playing the event, so I can unlock all the stuff. You get all these cool stickers and emblems. You get a third character. It's this dude. It just says wrestling trainee. It's just a dude with WWE gear, but he's got the belt on.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
of course.
That's kind of cool.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, they went all out with this collaboration. I appreciate it. And I was telling you, it was just something I've been bugging my wife about. Like, man, they should do it. And I still think they could do more. I feel like if they bring in The Undertaker, you would sell a shit ton of bundles.
Oh, yeah.
It's for people playing as The Undertaker or Macho.
Oh, yeah.
Or, get the Legends pack. You know what I mean? Something like that. I think that's the next step. People would jump on that for sure. I'll fucking pay for it.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, cool collaboration. Go check it out if you haven't. It's fun, and I'm excited. Now, another gripe I have. Oh, it was so great. Okay, let me complain some more.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that they have these people saying, like Cody says some things that I've never heard him say.
What'd he say?
Like when you select them, they usually have a little catchphrase, and some of them are like, "We're at a crossroads" or whatever. And he's like, champion and unbelievably good looking. And I'm like, I've never heard this version of Cody Rhodes say something like that.
It's not even dashing Cody Rhodes, right?
Yeah, right. That's a little odd. I'm guessing they had their own writers. And then hear Cody say this. He's like, well, the money's good. Sure. Money's good. Why not? Shit. All right. So let's jump into this card. It's a hefty card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches.
Wow. In
Not
3
bad.
hours?
Not bad. I mean, that's more than the 5 they've been doing, right? They've been doing 4 or 5 in the big pay-per-views. I guess because they had it in 2 nights, but whatever.
You know what that means? Nope. You know what that means? That means Braun Breaker is getting in the ring, 1 spear, and he's pinning Sami Zayn. You can guarantee what they're bringing back the fast match. That's how you book 7 and it's really 6. You see it boom, 1, 2, calling it now. You made my decision for me. Sami Zayn is literally getting caught. They're gonna ring the bell, spear, 1, 2, 3.
Gosh, man. All right. Well, let me get the paperwork here. let me get these posts.
Oh, I'm swinging for SummerSlam.
Swinging for SummerSlam.
SummerSlam 1989, when Ultimate Warrior beat Ravishing Rick Rude to win back the Intercontinental title that Ravishing Rick Rude cheated to win at WrestleMania 5.
SummerSlam was also the Undertaker versus Undertaker.
1994, Undertaker versus Undertaker.
I watched that on pay-per-view live, and I remember just freaking out like, how is this possible? He's got a twin.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah. All right. So we'll have Furth here and a me here. All right. Let's start at the top of this list. I'm looking at Bleacher Report, so shout out to Bleacher Report. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth Rollins in the most ridiculous referee outfit I've ever seen as a special guest referee. How do you feel about this? How does this help Seth? Aside from just being involved in this big match, this is weird. Why is he even involved?
This was the hardest one for me to pick, honestly, out of all of them, because I understand what I think this story is supposed to be, but Seth being there is interesting. I think if you ask, what is the point of Seth being there? It's like when they tried to stretch Lost. There were those seasons where they needed to stretch a little bit. I think they're getting to a Hell in a Cell with Punk and Drew, but the first time they get together can't be the last time. So how do you do that? But also Seth and Punk have history. It makes sense to me, but it heightened it to a place where I don't really know it's going to go to a no contest, right? Or it's going to go with somebody turning and hitting Seth, or Seth giving them both kicks. It's going to be some sort of chicanery, if you will, and or Drew is supposed to go over with something. Look, it's clearly Seth isn't there to not be a factor. He's got to be a factor the way Shawn was a factor in that Undertaker-Brett match where Shawn spit in Brett's face and cost the whole match, right? There's got to be something there. So maybe it's that. Maybe Seth looks like he's down on Punk for most of the match, and then he and Drew get into it, and he costs Drew the match to Punk because it's Drew getting screwed, but not a clean win for Punk is not going to be the end of this thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited because I have no idea what's going to happen, but the convoluted nature of adding all these elements is just making it, I don't really know. What do you think is going to happen? Because I want to think Drew would win to prolong so Punk goes over in the end, right? This feud is for Punk to ultimately win, but also Drew's been the one getting screwed, so he's supposed to go over in the end. So what's this whole, where are you at with this match alone? What's going on?
Well, for me, I'm on Drew is not guilty here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what team I'm on. You know who in this match I do not like. I've made it abundantly clear on this podcast that I can't stand CM Punk. And it made me so giddy and happy to wake up and see Drew McIntyre standing next to Jack Perry.
Yeah,
on my Instagram. Holy shit. And the picture was like, it's a real picture, cry me a river. Like, I could see it in Punk's face on Raw, by the way. He was pissed. He was not happy about that picture being on the internet, which was, by the way, swiftly deleted.
You know, that's true, but also look, do I think any of these guys are doing anything in this company that they aren't? All things being equal, what do I think is the easiest solution and answer? I think it was planned. I think everybody knew it as part of the story. Post it and delete it because it draws more attention.
I think you're giving him a little too much credit. I think that we're living in an era where Triple H has obviously told these people that you could post whatever you want, have fun. We're not restraining. You could tell because you see a lot of kayfabe being broken on Instagram. They're doing whatever they want on their socials. So I think Drew just said, "This is like they just ran into each other somewhere." And it was like, let's do it. Come on, let's just do it. And then he posted it, and he got taken down. They're like, hey, too much. Pull it back, buddy. What are you doing? I don't think it's intentional that they would work with AEW right like that. I think if they're going to work with AEW, they would do it a little more officially like they're doing with TNA or Bloodsport. Don't you think?
I think if they're working with them, absolutely. But I think if Drew has the picture. So to me, it's kind of like I'm a big NBA guy. Real beef in the NBA is hard to come by, right? They have to go to the union meetings together. Like I feel like the odds that I don't think the odds are that there's unworkable heat here. I think there might be some animosity and some trying to prove you're great. I believe it more between Seth and Punk, but I also believe that the whole thing is more work than it is shoot. I also don't think you're putting guys together who really hate each other in that combustible way on purpose, trying to stoke something that could ruin the very effect of what you're trying to do. Not now, not in the publicly traded, merged with another company. I think you are given the license to push the boundary, but recognizing like, oh my God, we're just making television and we make it stronger and stronger for us to sell tickets. I would believe that more than I'd be like, these multimillionaires with real deals on the line are trying to piss each other. Literally, when Punk just came from a situation where that was the issue, they're not putting them in a situation where they're playing off the fact that we know that, not putting him in a situation to fail by setting him up to do the very thing that led to him getting here.
I hear you. I also know brothers like to rib, so
yeah.
Like
rib on the square.
I don't think it's I don't think it was like pure heat, like let's take a picture to fucking piss him off. I think they ran into each other. They said, "What's up?" And they're like, "You know what? We should take a picture together." Just because, I mean, it's obvious they're talking about it. Even if it's in a casual way, they're at least talking about the situation because they're both involved. So I think they had a conversation, took a picture, and they're like, "Let's just rib it and let's put it up." And maybe they let us get away with it. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? Fuck it. Put it up.
Yeah.
I think that's I think, but that also comes from just my experience hanging around these freaking guys all the time. Like I know what they like to do. And I think Triple H is like the ultimate brother up there right now. He's pulling the strings on those things. But all right, we're getting off track. Punk, Drew, Rollins. I think Rollins screws Drew. And I hate to say it, but I think that's what happens.
I'm in agreement.
I think we all expect him to help Drew because, you know, he called Punk a cancer. I think this is going to be his way of, like, making it up to Punk for calling him a cancer and raising his hand at the end of this match, screwing over Drew. It then forms a Drew versus Rollins feud for a little bit while Punk continues. I am almost 100% sure. I'm not going to say 100%. I'm going to go with 98% sure that Punk is going to get injured in this match and is going to need some more time off.
Oh, leave the poor guy alone.
He is too soft. I'm sorry.
Let us not wish injury upon
I'm not wishing
professional athletes.
I'm not wishing anything. I don't want that to happen. I'm just kind of, you know, I posted it the other day when I went on a rant on Punk. I'm like, I feel bad for his fans when he breaks another bone. And that was like 4 months before he broke another thing and had to go away for a while.
Yeah.
It's becoming a pattern. And like, I don't want to wish that on him. I just, be careful, dude. I don't know. Put on some more muscle. He seems a little more jacked. Keep going. Get bigger. That'll protect you more, for sure. Anyway.
I think we're in agreement. I love that we both are
Punk
picking
wins.
Punk wins. And it's because of Seth. I love that yours it's an intentional thing and mine is it's unintentional. It's very, very specific. I'm like, no, he loses his cool. And that's what cost him so that Drew is even more mad. Punk didn't get a real win. Seth feels like an idiot because he let his emotions get the best of him when he was really trying to screw Punk. This is great. And you're like, yeah, no, he's going to turn on him and fuck everything. I like this.
Yeah. So I wrote that like Rollins intent and then Rollins unintent.
Perfect.
All right. Logan Paul, which, whoo, shall we get into that real quick?
You talk about trying to shoot. You talk about shooting on each other.
Brother, what was that?
Real tension.
What was that, man?
He came at him.
Wait. What are we talking about here?
What are you talking about? I'm talking about that promo with him in LA Knight.
Oh, brother, that's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about? What happened?
Well, Senor Logan Paul decided to make a tweet or an X, whatever you call it, saying that a man beating a woman on television is the most cruel or vile type of evil in the world, and called a biological woman a man on Twitch. Like, he's calling her a man. And
is this in reference to the Olympian?
The Olympian boxer, yes. So shortly after, he posted, "Oops, my bad. I didn't know she was a biological woman." So he basically just bullied this poor girl, calling her a man.
How did that get out of hand so fast for everyone?
Because she, so the in the fight, I didn't watch it, but apparently in the fight, within 50 seconds, the other girl quits the match because she was getting hit too hard. And the person that's in question, I forget the name, is Imane, something like that, failed a gender type test that they have in the Olympics because she had like an extra chromosome, but it was just poorly handled. So it was just faulty test, and she just got disqualified for no reason. Basically, they did another test, and she's a biological woman per her blood. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it fucking matters. Who's watching female boxing?
Like, jeez.
Why do people care? Anyway, Logan Paul had to make a statement. He apologized, but then also was like, but I still stand. I'm standing by my stance on men beating on women. Blah, 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 blah. Guess who's dropping the belt tomorrow?
Well, look, if I was on the fence at all about it, because that was the only, next to Punk and Drew, that was the one where I was like, I feel like LA Knight is winning the title right here, but I had 2 other title changes on my list, and I was like, ooh, this might be the one that you're not going to do if you have 2 others. I'm kind of like on the fence with what I see. So I think we're going LA Knight, and that's the way to go. Look, that was the way to go before this was happening anyway. LA Knight has been on this trajectory, and this is how you build that internal star, a wrestler who is absolute. I root for LA Knight hard. I've known the guy a while, and I love seeing him come to this moment the way he has. Right? His history and how he came to be in the WWE on this run. Let's crown him U.S. champion today. We'll give him he'll be the first carrier of the new belt, whatever they redesign so it looks cool once again. And he'll have an awesome run. He's a world champion. This is how you build him to the world champion.
You give it a American flag leather strap like AEW's American Championship. Yes, LA Knight. I'm not predicting that this is what's going to happen, but this is how I would book it.
Yeah.
That match you're talking about with Braun Breaker spearing Sammy, I say this is the quick match.
Oh, that would be good too.
Have LA Knight
Logan
come out,
Paul.
boom, boom, the fucking block, whatever it's called, that thing he does. BFT, done.
Yeah.
Punishment. Should have kept your mouth quiet, buddy. Why are you fucking talking shit on the internet? That's the issue, right? That's where Vince was kind of, not right, but just like, you can't just let these fucking cowboys wild on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
although let me tell you, so you're saying that that's what they're going to do to one of their sponsors? Because remember, he's a sponsor now too. He's not only a social influencer and performer. He's got the Prime logo in the middle of the ring.
We'll have to see what the data looks like. What are the what's the conversation where are we? Are people mad at Logan Paul? If the world is going crazy about this, they will fucking pull that contract because they're not going to risk it over whatever 20 million, whatever. I don't even know what the deal was, but you're risking a long-term effect towards the optics of your company versus fucking drink. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
You make choices. If it depends, whatever the temperature of the room is when they go in there.
I would just love to see them. I think the 2 of them can put together a very entertaining match as well, and that would be, I think, for LA Knight would be a great value for him to win a competitive, high stakes match to win the championship, where over the course of 15 or 20 minutes, the crowd is really rooting for him in the moment, because then the victory will really resonate. But yeah, I think you're right. That could also be very cool if he just comes in, hits it, and throws Prime on him, and then walks out.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that's how it's going to go. I think we're getting a match.
Yeah. But that would be a fun spot to do it. That would be a fun spot.
Yeah. All right, so we both got LA Knight there.
Yeah.
Sammy and Braun. And new. Braun and Sammy, you already said Braun in a second, right, with a spear.
Look, this is where I started to question, because I have 3 title change. This is one of the 3, and I started to look at what I really think is going to happen. But I'm going to stick with all of my initial, because I looked at that Bleacher Report card too. Braun is beating Sammy, and I think Braun is going to. Once we talked about how many matches, this is the perfect. He comes in, he spears him out of nowhere, wins the belt. Sammy's not hurt by that because he just got caught, right? He just got caught. one move knockout, and everybody is better for it. Now you have a return match. He loses, but then he's set up to go do the next thing.
Okay. So Braun, super fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hear you. And again, I'm going to go the other way with, I think this should be the match where we see what Braun is made of. We can't build another Goldberg that just spear, jackknife, end of the match, every match. And they've kind of done that. He's had a couple I think Ilya put him through a decent match, but you know, I think we should get. I would give him a solid wrestling match with Sami Zayn, dude. We forget who El Generico is. Like,
who?
El Generico, brother.
Don't know him. He sounds like a good wrestler, though.
He's a good wrestler.
I'd love to see him against Sami Zayn one day. That's the match I want to see.
That would be good. That would be good. But yeah, I mean, I think we get a good. I hope we get a good match. I don't want, as I know that the option for excitement is that. Obviously, it's a pop. People go, what? And he's been doing the bit where he's running so fast that the camera can keep up. It's blurry. You seen these on the Instagrams?
Yeah, that's good. So, that's a good effect. Unlike that stupid effect in the Olympics where the gymnasts are flipping and they do that little like each spot they show the move. That's terrible. The Braun Breaker one, that's incredible. Have you seen what they do in the gymnasts?
No, they're freeze framing
if you're doing a backflip across the screen, they freeze frame each spot in the backflip. Like some old person was like, this is what TikTok is, right? The kids will connect to this if we do this. But no, that Braun Breaker Instagram, that's perfect. The blurring him, making him look like Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. That's a monster. I'm scared of him. I don't want to shake his hand.
That animation you're saying reminds me of the old, back in the day when we had VHS cameras that had the VHS in the camera. They would have built-in effects, and one of them is that the image was like 3 times. Yeah. We're back to that now, but cleaner because 4K.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say Braun as well, but not quickly. I want to match.
And let's give him a new title too. Let's make all these titles updated and look like the belts that we all wanna wear. All 3 of these remaining titles, the Cody's belt, the AIC, and the US title, they're gonna get their upgrades soon. I can't wait. They better get their upgrades soon.
I hope so. I really love the tag titles that Ciampa and Gargano have that look
both
like
of those tag titles are amazing updates, as is that world title that Damian Priest is going to lose.
The last one we get is the Cody one, right?
Yeah, probably for that first Raw when John Cena's there on Netflix and Rock is there and Roman's there and Cody's there and everyone is there and he gets a new title.
Hold on. We'll get to that final match. All right. So wait, Braun. Okay, we're good. Damian Priest versus Gunther.
This is the match that Gunther becomes world champion.
You think
they're going to have a slobber knocker, beat down, drag out affair, and Gunther is going over. Yeah. This is the time. This is the ascent to that spot, and you crown him here. They have return matches. And Damian Priest has been elevated and moves on to what he's going to do with the breaking up of the Judgment Day. And Gunther goes on as a nasty heel world champion on Raw.
I like it. I don't want to agree with you because I want there to be some kind of competition here for some reason. But I agree. I want Gunther as champion as well. I like Damian Priest. I've been on a campaign to get a Damian Priest shirt made. Even spent a good hour trying to make it myself, and I couldn't get it right. But
what shirt?
We need a Wepa shirt for Damian Priest. The Latinos would appreciate it. We will buy it. I will buy it. I will buy a Damian Priest Wepa shirt. Just him walking in with the guys, and that one picture where they're all just like with their heads and put that image, put Wepa nice and big on there. I'll buy it. Even if it's just Wepa in big block letters and Priest in the front with his belt, I'll buy that one too. But
you're printing money for them.
Exactly. What's going on?
Where are my ice cream bars?
But all right, I do think, even though I like Priest, I like him a lot. and I think this world title run is just getting started for him. Like, I feel like he's getting better every run, every time on the mic, more comfortable. I would be ashamed to see that momentum stop, but what do you do with Gunther if he doesn't win? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah.
It's time.
I think
it's time.
Yeah. All right. Bayley versus Nia Jax.
I got Bayley. I got Bayley beating Nia Jax.
Bayley beats Nia Jax. Are you excited at all about this match?
I will be interested. I'll be interested to see what happens. I'm happy for Bayley. I want to see this run culminate. I want to see Charlotte come back and them have the big feud. And right now you're building Bayley to get to that spot. Am I excited for this? Look, no, not particularly. This is not the match that I'm tuning in to see because it doesn't have the same heat behind it as some of the other things going on, but that's in comparison. Otherwise, you have two of the top superstars in that division going against each other on that show in what is a compelling. Bayley is typically an underdog, and you have the outsized monster coming to steal that championship.
Okay. So you got Bayley.
Bayley's retaining the title.
I got Nia Jax.
You got Nia Jax taking the title.
The queen.
So this is the fourth title change you have on the night.
The family member of the final boss.
Yeah.
So I have Nia winning.
Anything in particular from the match you see? Is she pledging allegiance to the bloodline? Are they helping, or is it just?
No, I think Queen Nia wins.
Yeah,
Queen Nia wins. She's bigger. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't. Nice amount of heart you have there, Bayley, but you're gonna get squished by the final boss's cousin.
Look, it would certainly lend credence to the King and Queen of the Ring. If both King and Queen of the Ring win their tournaments and then go on to SummerSlam and win the title, that lends to this idea that this title shot is as important as Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble. This is a new thing they did with King of the Ring, so you add legitimacy if you do that finish.
Yeah. So, I think she wins. And I think the reason why I think she wins is because I'm sure that the next match, most people have a title change as well. And that is Liv versus Rhea.
Not at all.
You don't think
Not
so?
at all. Liv is walking out as champion. Look, I understand why everyone wants to see it and thinks it's going to happen, but you all better get very comfortable with Liv Tyler winning this match because that's exactly, or Liv Morgan, excuse me, Liv Tyler, from Armageddon,
Yeah.
and the music videos.
The Lord of the Rings.
Liv Morgan is winning this match for a variety of reasons. This is not going Rhea's way because they've had to flip, because Rhea has to chase this now. Because of the injury, she's not coming back, because what do you do after that? It was supposed to be Liv chasing the title. It's different now. This is easily, no questions asked, Liv is walking out champion.
I have that as well, but she said during her promo, as she was burning her photos of Dom and all that stuff, the angry ex-girlfriend from high school, burning all the pictures, which was great. I've definitely, good job, guys. That was great. I think, she says, I'm going to be the one getting my arm raised in that ring, right? I think that Finn Balor is the one that's raising that arm in the air of that match.
That's good.
Yep, and that's how we start the demise of the Judgment Day. The priest,
that's good.
The figurehead, lost his championship. Rhea lost her championship. Finn says, fuck you guys, we're champions. You know what I mean? And they leave. And then we get a heel turn, JD and Finn. JD will go with Finn, no questions asked. That's his fucking sensei. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, they're aren't they tag champs right now?
Yeah,
he can't.
Well, I mean, he could protest, but I don't even think he'll protest. I think he'll be like, fuck yeah, Finn, whatever. Whatever you want, because he's the one that brought him in. JD's career almost ended because he got himself in a little bit of hot water on the internet as well.
What did he do?
He got canceled over some sexual allegations. for a while during his indie days. But
oh geez.
So there are a lot of like internet, people that like speak up. They call him JD. Don't make Google my name.
Jesus.
But I like the guy in terms of what he's doing in the product. You know what I mean? I hope he didn't do any of those allegations. That's bad. But I think he goes because Finn saved his ass, brought him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Liv retains with Finn as a heel turn. That's
a good call. I think that could be either directly or indirectly he's responsible. If he's indirectly responsible, it's one of those accidental on purpose. You know what I mean? Like he does it, but it's like, oh, I accidentally handed her the briefcase or the brass knuckles, but really he planted those knuckles on purpose kind of thing. But yeah, either way, this is the beginning of the end. I think there's way more to come from these two. And if there is, Rhea does not lose this easily or cleanly in a simple way, but she's not walking out champ. Liv is walking out champ to continue this story. Continue.
Yeah, like I think Rhea will dominate her most of the match. Like, as she said, I'm gonna bring, what does she call it? Her words, devastation. I don't know, whatever those evil
Good.
words that succubus uses.
Good.
I am, dude. My goodness. If I were in high school and Rhea Ripley was around, I would have lost my mind. I would have had the shrine in my room with the posters and all the magazine clippings, and I don't have a problem. And just start putting like a Rhea on my fucking page.
It's just Sharpie. Don't worry. It's just Sharpie.
It's like, I want to do it and then one night I get really drunk and just do it. And it's not. Anyway, yes. There's a lot of you got me thinking. There's a lot of title changes on my picks.
There's a lot of title changes. If
we go back, who do we fuck over in terms of
if Becky Lynch? If Bayley is not the only way I see Bayley losing that championship is if Tiffy cashes in. A great way to have that happen, if that title's coming off, is have her cash in and pin Nia.
There you go.
But otherwise, if it's just straight up, no, Bayley is retained. In fact, I think I might change. That does sound good. That does sound better. That sounds like a better thing than I had. But that's the one I'd give back because. But then you're talking. I just convinced myself there's a fourth title change. You know what I mean? Like I just talked myself into a bad idea.
It's Tiffy time, man. It's Tiffy time. It's summertime.
It should be. It should look. If that's she should cash in. I'm gonna change my pick. Tiffy is cashing in, pinning Nia in the middle of a 3-way contest because Nia gets Bayley or Bayley gets Nia. Something happens. She's down. Tiffy comes in, pins Nia so she doesn't pin Bayley because then you can go to champion Tiffy
Bayley program.
Bayley coming at her, but Bayley never prevails. But she's got to prolong this. Now I got to go back to the Rumble and try again.
So she pins Nia.
Yeah. That's a better idea than that. Now there's 4 title changes. Damn it. Maybe Logan Paul is walking out the champion. I don't know. Damn it. Which lets us know what we think is going to happen in the main event because you're not adding a 5th, are you? Are you adding a 5th title change?
My brain. Damn it.
What?
I mean, here's how I would book it. Tiffy time cashes in on Liv and Rhea.
Wow.
That way both of them don't have the title. They keep feuding over Dom. Tiffy has a belt. It's the Barbie versus the 2 goths because Liv is all gothy now with the leather straps and the black makeup. It's the mean girl coming in and taking it from the goths. Oh, fuck. I think that's it.
You think she's wow. Wow.
That way
that's a big swing. That's a Vince McMahon swing. All right. What's the last thing?
You keep the girls fighting over Dom. You don't need a belt in that story. Think about it.
But also you do. This is the right move. This is one of those let's not overcomplicate. I would love it if that happened. I think what you came up with is awesome. I'm not putting money on it because I think it's taking away from what is naturally this building crescendo versus the other side. What did we just say? We weren't even interested in Bayley and Nia. So what's going to happen? Tiffy cashes in, wins the belt. Now we're talking. That's what's on Sports Center Sunday morning. That's what's on Instagram all afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the live Rhea thing stands so perfectly on its own at the moment, and their crescendo and their climax to that story has more to do with Dom and them than it does Tiffy. So you don't take the belt away. You let it be this double-headed monster of the belt, and you tried to mess with my man just to get my belt. And they're going to cast him aside because it is the belt that matters. And the ultimate thing will be when both of them cast him aside, is like, you were just a pawn to try to get to the other person.
I don't like that. Poor Dom.
It will garner him some empathy. People will.
That's always just the Dom face turn. Everybody's sad.
Never.
He just wanted nuggies. He just wanted to play PS5 and eat some nuggies.
Mommy, I missed you. I was lonely. I don't know what to do without you, Mommy.
Dude, I fucking love this story. I've seen some haters on the internet like, oh, Raw doesn't have any good stories. I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah. We've got the whole Judgment Day is basically most of the show, and that story is great. You've got, Drew and Punk and their story. That's a good story. I mean, I'm not, like I said, a fan of Punk, but I know a good story when there is one. I know when money is being made. So I think there's a lot of good stories on fucking Raw right now. It's my favorite show. SmackDown, I skim through. I don't watch all of SmackDown. I'll skim through it.
This Bloodline Cody thing is very in between at the moment. The kids would say this is mid. I'm not saying it's mid, but the kids would say this is mid.
Well,
it's missing the key elements to make us believe in this right now.
I don't know. I like it. It could be better.
It's a natural progression from where they're at in building this story to something larger, and they're doing everything they can with what they do have. Nobody is failing this storyline. Yeah. Nobody is. Solo's doing great. Everyone on the Bloodline is doing great. Paul Heyman obviously did great. Cody is making it feel like it is real and specific while continuing to mention The Rock's name at every pass. This Roman element is clearly intriguing as well. Everyone is elevating what they do have, but it doesn't feel like a full meal. It feels like that smaller thing you're having where you're like, oh, I'm actually going to be hungry at the end of this.
Okay. I mean, look, like you said, I think everybody's doing a tremendous job. Jacob is a star.
Beast.
Always liked him from War Beast days in PCW. Always the homie. Always back. I've smoked many a joints with Mr. Jacob Fatu.
Well.
He's the real fucking deal, and you could see it now. Like, seeing it on WWE TV, it's so surreal to my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, what? and then at the same time, like, of course, dummy. What? That's what you were hooked on from the beginning when you saw him in PCW. You know what I mean? I saw it then, and it's nuts, dude. But I think they're doing a tremendous job, minus any, Tongaloa botches, which have been fruitful in many. But I wish, I still like him. I'm sorry, I still like him. I made a meme that I posted on our page of, I didn't see it anywhere on the internet, so I figured make it myself, of them, the Summer Slam poster with the Bloodline car. The first thing that popped in my head was Final Fantasy 15 because I'm a nerd, but that whole game, they have that same scenario. It's 4 dudes in black suits in a convertible black Cadillac car. How did no one make this connection but me?
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm a nerd, so that's where that story is. I think, I don't know, we get Roman. I don't think we get Roman. I think Roman is a WrestleMania moment. Don't you think? Can we wait till WrestleMania?
If you were asking me, I would hold off Roman Reigns as long as I can. I think we are definitely going to see him on the first Raw on Netflix. I don't think you're going to not see him there. I think that's very important that I would hold him as long as I could. Do I think we're going to see him tomorrow? If you ask me, I don't put my money on it. But if you do see him, I have an idea of what would happen. But I think the value in holding him off until the We Want Roman chants stop, because they just kind of forget about it. Not forget, but it's too present right now. Let it go past Survivor Series. Let it be the first thing that hits on Netflix. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you want? You want Roman Reigns music as the very first thing. The Raw opening credits, quiet, quiet. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
That's huge. I don't know when he's coming back. Obviously, I want him back. If he comes back tomorrow, what I think would happen is he'd come out of the crowd. He spears Cody Rhodes, causing a DQ. He looks at everybody. He leaves it completely ambiguous, powders, and gets out of there, and that's how you go off. But I don't think we see him. I think we see Hikuleo before we see Roman tomorrow. But I think tomorrow is just about either a screwy finish to it, but Cody is walking out champion. They might lay him out, something might happen, or he could just get a clean win over Solo. But that doesn't feel like it's the right answer either, you know?
No. I don't.
Cody's walking out champion. I don't believe Cody is losing that belt tomorrow.
No way.
By any stretch of the imagination.
No way.
I would believe a schmaz finish before anything else. Maybe you throw Roman into the mix like that, but I don't think it's time for him. More likely than not, Hikuleo comes out, and then there's another member. Now it's 5-on-1. Because imagine what 5-on-1 leads to.
Yeah.
Isn't there a big 5-on-5 match coming in a couple months?
War Games.
War
Games.
What do you got going on? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, before War Games, we have Bad Blood. I think there needs to be some kind of bloodline story headlining Bad Blood, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Bad bloodline.
Yeah. So there's got to be something to get there. Hikuleo and Zilla Fatu. He's also signed.
Wow.
So what do we do here? Do we put him straight in there? Do we throw him at NXT? Who knows? They did it with Solo. He was in NXT for a bit. So they might do it with Zilla. Or I don't know, man. There's a lot that could happen here. I do think Cody wins, obviously. I think we do get we have to get Jay. Something has to happen with Jay, right? He has to come out.
Brother, I texted you this week, and I just said, let's not forget, Jey Uso has nothing going on at SummerSlam.
He has to come out.
That's clearly a big omission. It is almost obvious that something is going to happen because he's not Miz, he's not the host, he's not any, unless that's what he comes out and spoils Miz's moment, but like it's so big and obvious that he's missing that something's going to happen. I don't know what it is. That's the bigger question than anything else to me.
He pops in and helps Cody, man. Because look, we could keep building the bloodline, but we're gonna need some opponents at some point.
Yeah.
Because like I could think of a Jay turning heel and joining the bloodline, but that's too many people. Yeah. That's too many. We need an opposition.
He hasn't mentioned the bloodline since WrestleMania either. He's been doing his own thing. He's separate from the family, so maybe he's seen the family too much with all of this, and he's gonna stand up against them because he knows the evil that they cause. That'd be good. I could believe that.
This is where I think War Games is going. I think it's Cody, Jay, Jimmy, Roman, and one other person. Maybe a Randy. I don't know.
It'd be tough to not think it's Randy and Kevin.
Randy or Kevin. I think Roman.
Yeah.
Well,
where's Roman? Maybe Roman's not in it. Maybe it's that new bloodline faction, and it's Cody, Randy, Kevin, Jimmy, and Jay. Yeah. And that's still not enough. Yeah. They still fuck around because if they sign two other, you got Hikuleo and what's the other Fatu now?
Zilla Fatu.
You have too many people. So there's extra people who then come over the top of the cage when they're not supposed to, interfere and lay them out. Now it's too many people. Now you have Roman come back. But I also don't think Roman's coming back to just be against the bloodline immediately.
No, we also got The Rock has to come back. So
yeah.
I believe at the end. I believe at the end of this, it's Rock and Roman. That's the end. That's the end game here. So we're
even over Rock and Cody, because Rock and Cody seem to be The Thing.
We're gonna
Is
get
that
Rock.
Is that Royal Rumble?
We get Rock and Cody, and then we get Rock and Roman.
Interesting.
And I see Rock taking the belt from Cody.
Interesting. When?
It's a good question. But he's the only person I would want to take the belt from Cody.
That's good. That's good. I love that. I also feel like Cody is in line for Randy and Kevin Owens heel turns. Like a Randy and Cody needs to happen, and it needs to happen in this run.
I think that happens next.
That happens.
I think that happens next at some point.
Maybe it's next. Maybe it's Rumble. Maybe they get through Survivor Series together, and then it's a turn, and it's Randy and Cody at Rumble.
Randy, Cody, Rumble, and then after that, it's when we start getting Rock and Cody.
Yeah,
Mania. That's got to be Mania. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See,
we're getting far. Tough. We're getting far ahead of ourselves. I think yes. Tomorrow, Cody obviously wins. I think Jay comes out to help him. I think Jimmy comes out to help.
Wow, that'd be huge.
I think they both come out.
Ooh, so they're gonna feel oozy. They'll feel pretty oozy.
Pretty oozy.
Oh, I guess Sami Zayn could also be. That's another name. Sami Zayn would be in that.
He lost his belt.
War Games.
He loses his belt, but now he's part of the story again. He's back in the Bloodline story.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. We got it. Book it.
Book it.
Book it.
That's a fun SummerSlam. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a hell of a time.
It's gonna be a good show. I am gonna miss half of it, and I'm gonna have to make it up after. I'm gonna miss the.
This is my favorite thing. Oh my God, listeners, this is my favorite thing. Whenever one of my friends is missing part of the show, all I do is spend the whole time texting them spoilers that are impossible. Like, oh my God, Andre the Giant just cashed in Money in the Bank, is now the women's world champion. Like, oh my God, Undertaker flew in on a helicopter, zip line down, and beat Tom Cruise for the world championship. Like, you're just going to get all the craziest spoilers I can think of that clearly aren't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Text me when you get to the television. I want to know when you show up.
I'm definitely I'll be up to date. It sucks because look, it's one of those. I got an offer to drive to Long Beach tomorrow and interview King Buzzo of the Melvins and Trevor Dunn of Mr. Bungle before their show at Alex's bar. Nice. How do I say no to that? You know,
you don't.
You know what I mean?
You don't.
So I'm going, and I'll catch SummerSlam after. I mean, I'm gonna watch. No, I can't. I'm going to have to drive to Long Beach. I'm probably going to miss the whole thing. I might as well just watch it when I come home afterwards.
All right.
I'll text you when I'm in front of the TV. I'll send you all the
terrible fake spoilers.
All right. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Mr. Furth, where do they find you? What do you have? Plug away. Let people know.
Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Eddie Furth, and come out Thursday, August 29th at 9:45 p.m. at the Hollywood Improv for No Laughing, where if you can last 3 1-minute rounds of comedy without laughing, you win cash and prizes.
Hell yeah. I want to be there. I will put it on my calendar so I can be there as well. Because last time I saw it, I had a hell of a time. So please.
Always fun.
If you're in town, go check this out. Myself, you can follow at RRBG Podcast. Tomorrow is the first interview I've done in 2 months. I've taken a little bit of a sabbatical there because I went to Japan, did a bunch of stuff. Trying to get back on the horse. And I think tomorrow's a good start. So that'll be out soon. But I'm still posting updates and posting life stories and trying to make myself relevant on the social webs or whatever the kids call it these days.
They call it Skibbity.
Skibbity boo bop. Follow me at RRBG Podcast. Oh, I am working on putting a live professional wrestling show on at a brewery in Los Angeles. Date and information to come. That's all I will say. We'll get it done. Please follow this show at Outside Interference, and we'll see you next time.
Happy SummerSlam.
Oh, happy SummerSlam. Cool.
Great. It was awesome. Yeah. I love that we talked ourselves into a cash-in that we didn't even think about. That's it. That's it. You'll watch it when you get home. It'll be just as good, if not better. All right, dude, I got to get out of here. Talk to you soon, man.